All right, so I know the question that's on everybody's mind is what the hell's going on that's got the Hidden MGTOW bringing the Hidden MGTOW show back out of retirement. Well, let me show you.
So, all right, today we're talking about MGTOW. I'm not sure if anyone.
As usual, this should be enlightening considering this person is not a MGTOW.
I'm not sure if anyone has really heard about this movement, but it's pretty popular now, especially.
Well, that didn't take too fucking long, did it? Already misrepresenting. Wrong. Not a movement.
But it's pretty popular now, especially amongst men. Maybe they don't know it necessarily by the terminology used, but they will probably know about the behavior and they will emulate some of the same behavior that MGTOW is.
Well, they won't be emulating MGTOW listening to you. They're going to be emulating your idea of what MGTOW is, I guess. But MGTOW is not a behavior either.
So, beware of MGTOW men. That's what we're going to title this video. So,
well, that's not clickbait at all, is it?
So, let's go and look at the definition of MGTOW. Right. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this definition, but this will kind of give you an overview of what I'm talking about. So, going on.
I got a sneaking suspicion that I'm not going to agree with this either, and it really depends on where you're going to get this definition from, because I can tell you right now, the easiest place to find out what a MGTOW is to ask an actual MGTOW. But none of these people do. Let's see what he has to say.
So going on Google, Men Going Their Own Way, MGTOW, is an anti-feminist, misogynistic, mostly online community advocating for men to separate themselves from women and from a society which they believe has been destroyed by feminism. Okay, here's what I agree with the definition, here's what I don't agree with.
Before we get into what you agree or disagree with, let's ask myself, an actual MGTOW. I don't agree with any of that. It's not even mostly online even. I disagree with that entire statement. So Google is completely wrong. And Google has no idea because it's just searching for all the hate mail that we're getting.
Feminism has done a lot of bad things to our communities, bad things to our social dynamics between men and women. It has done a lot of bad things in the concept of family. It has done a lot of bad things in terms of the mentality. There's a level of toxicity to feminism. But I'm not going to throw it all away. Now, what I don't agree with is that Men Going Their Own Way is it is anti-feminist for sure, but it's not misogynistic. So
he's right. It's not about hating women. It's not misogynistic, but it's also not about anti-feminism. MGTOW itself is not. There's some red pill knowledge out there that's definitely anti-feminist, but MGTOW doesn't have to be anti-feminist.
So looking up, well, you know what? I'm not even really going to get into the definitions. So I'll give you my definition of MGTOW.
So he's got Google's definition, and then he's not going to get into the definitions, but he's going to give you his definition. Still no MGTOW definition of a MGTOW.
MGTOW, it is, yes, understanding that feminism has had a negative impact on our society, especially when it comes to the dynamic between men and women, and how women tend to mistreat men with when they have feminism in their mind, when they're using feminist behaviors or feminist tactics. Yes, that does have a negative impact on men and society as a whole. So a man who is wary of that, he doesn't have to be a MGTOW person. But basically the concept is, I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm not really going to focus on relationships. I'm not going to focus on commitment. I'm not going to focus on labels. I'm just going to do whatever I want. So
close, but not really. We're close though. It's not the reason. Doing what you want isn't the reason. It's not a selfish thing. It's doing what you want is a byproduct. A good byproduct.
I want. So it is kind of, I'm going to develop relationships now between myself and women where I can garner some type of advantage over them. And that is basically how MGTOW plays out. So yeah.
No, absolutely not. See, this is where you're mixing MGTOW with red pill. Red pill can be used against women to gain an advantage over them in the dating market. That's the PUA, guys. See how people get confused when they don't have the proper definition? All of a sudden, everybody is the definition. PUAs are not MGTOW. MGTOW are going their own way. They're not dating women like that. They're not trying to get an advantage over women. It's not about going and getting laid and walking away. That's not what MGTOW is. That's a PUA. MGTOW is going to be extremely cautious about having sex with anybody because they're not looking to get anybody pregnant. It's not the same thing at all. Stop that.
Plays out. So yeah, there's theories and there's philosophical concepts behind it, but a lot of times the way it's practiced is how I'm about to show you now. So how you can...
Buddy, you're not even working with a proper definition of MGTOW, so how are you presuming to go out and tell people exactly what we all do? We're not a hive mind. We're all different people, and everybody has a different reason for being MGTOW. So there's no way you're going to say anything about how we all act. It's just stupid.
I'll show you now. So how you can recognize someone a MGTOW man, or at least a man who's using those same behaviors, is a man who has game. Game is kind of, how I would define it, is a series of practices that he uses to kind of woo a woman. Now,
yep. How did I know he was going to go straight into PUA like a fucking moron? Sorry, bud. You're totally fucking confused, and you're confusing your watchers. Or are you confusing them? I wonder. I'm starting to think they might watch you as comedy.
Now, game isn't bad in itself, but this is just something that a MGTOW man would have. At least if he's a lot more developed in his MGTOW philosophy.
And there's why I tell people to stop using the term MGTOW philosophy. Because now you've got people digging, looking for a philosophy that we all hold. We don't all hold the same opinion. And being higher up in your MGTOW philosophy, I guess, would be calling yourself a monk. You're going the opposite way. You're not going after women. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Another one would be he doesn't like commitment. So...
What? A good number of MGTOW men are MGTOW since a divorce that they did not initiate. What are you talking about? Clueless.
A lot of these tropes or these behaviors that men are doing, MGTOW kind of encapsulates them.
You haven't proven that. Citation needed. No, it doesn't. You're full of shit.
And he has game. He does not want to commit. What's another one? He believes in having multiple partners.
Wow, this guy's fucking describing a PUA. It's the complete fucking opposite. What a fucking doofus.
Because he doesn't want to commit, he has multiple partners, right? What else?
What else? What else?
What else?
How about excuse me?
He doesn't like absolutely no marriage.
Whoa, that's kind of funny actually. Watch him racking his brain trying to figure it out, and then finally he fucking says one thing that's true about MGTOW.
A lot of MGTOW men are not going to be for marriage at all. They're going to think that
it's not a lot of MGTOW men, it's all MGTOW men. That is what makes us MGTOW. Not all these other reasons you're about to come up with.
At all. They're going to think that it's a scam. They're going to think that it's a worthless piece of paper. They're going to think that it's dumb to label, a lifelong commitment as marriage. You shouldn't want to get the government involved. I understand there's some arguments to be made that way. So, okay, beware the MGTOW man. Why should you be aware of the MGTOW man as a woman?
Beware and be aware are two different things. But ladies, if you're watching this guy, be aware that he talks a lot of bullshit, doesn't know what he's talking about, and beware of people that do that.
Because if you're trying to protect your heart, if you're trying to make sure that you guys are equally getting a good bargain, you are going to want a relationship. You're going to eventually want marriage. You're eventually going to want to settle down. You want an exclusive relationship. But MGTOW,
which is not out of step with any of the MGTOW I've ever talked to. Most of them would love to have that. Not all of them, though. Some of us are monk.
Relationship. But MGTOW will always press for non-exclusivity. They will always press for both parties being able to be disloyal, or at least him being able to be disloyal.
Completely fucking wrong. Stop spreading shit around, you goddamn shit spreader.
So he doesn't, no strings attached, basically. So he wants all the perks of having the car without actually owning the car. He wants to be able to return the car, i.e. your relationship, i.e. your body.
You see that little Freudian slip right there? He thinks women are property. See how that went there? He's trying to call us a bunch of misogynists, but then he turns around and says that. Way to objectify women, homie.
I.e. your body, i.e. your heart, at any given moment. There could be no contract, there could be no commitment, there could be no labels, no boyfriend, no husband, there cannot be that.
Any MGTOW worth his left nut as a MGTOW is not going to be on the dating scene. You have a complete misunderstanding of what a MGTOW is.
So the MGTOW man, and the way I see it now, is how it's developed. It is the modern man. The modern man does not want relationships. The modern man only wants maybe a situationship, a friendship with benefits. He doesn't want a relationship where there's labels. And the reason why is because he doesn't want accountability.
Oh my God, have you ever heard anything so ridiculously, stupendously, amazingly fucking ridiculous? This guy's off the fucking deep end. He doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. Being a MGTOW is all about accountability, fool.
Now, a lot of men might argue with me and say, oh, it's not that. But generally, that is exactly what it is. Because if I'm not committing to you, therefore I'm not responsible to you. Therefore I'm not accountable to you. Therefore I can do whatever I want.
That's a lot of therefores that all come stemming from the wrong fucking starting point. So therefore you're wrong.
MGTOW is actually a way for most men to just be not faithful. Most men...
No, MGTOW is a way for a man to be faithful to himself. Humongous difference, my friend. Humongous difference.
Faithful. Most men to, because of the non-labels and the inexclusivity, the unexclusivity, or however we call it, being non-exclusive, he gets to be unfaithful.
You need to stop giving reasons why men go MGTOW when you don't even know what a MGTOW is. MGTOW men are not unfaithful. They're not even in a relationship. So they can't be unfaithful. It has nothing to do with themselves being accountable. It has to do with there's no accountability for women. You got to understand. You're all the way backwards.
Given that there's no labels, there's no contract, there are no terms. Therefore, I can do whatever I want. So this generally means friends with benefits, no marriage, open relationships, multiple partners, and you have to deal with this.
That is a red pill pickup artist. You have to deal with this.
But I'm trying to let you know that there are certain signs you should look out for when you find a man like this. First of all, he's very smooth and he's very charming. Nextly,
the only way anyone's going to get anything of value out of this is if I interject and tell you right now that he is continually talking about pickup artists, and that is what you need to look for. All these signs he's talking about, that's a pickup artist. Be careful for those guys because, yeah, they're just trying to get laid.
Nextly, he wants to move the relationship very fast, meaning he wants you on your back as fast as possible. He also, after that, will not want to label things.
That's just about any man on the planet, but he's trying to tell you what a pickup artist does, which should be obvious to anybody.
Sometimes he'll ghost you. Sometimes he'll barely text you. Sometimes he'll pepper in and out some of his text messages. He will be hot and cold. There will be no warmth to him. It'll just be generally, okay, how come he's talking to me now? But back then he wasn't. How come okay, another thing. He'll respond to your text messages kind of very spaced out apart. See, when you guys are having conversations, they're going to seem like they're letters now. Because you have to wait so much time to hear back from him. He's going to act like he's busy. Now, I'm not saying all men who act like they're busy are actually not, and they're lying, but sometimes, generally, That is a thing in game, is that we have been taught as men that in order to keep a woman's interest, you have to act uninterested yourself.
He even uses pickup language. He said it like 2-3 times in this video. Game. That's pickup. Pick up, bro. Pick up. Is every man identical to you?
So that's another attack. So that's another thing. So let me go do the steps. How do you identify a MGTOW man? He's charming. He wants to move things very fast. He's hot and he's cold. Okay? And he does not want labels. All these three things, they can kind of give you the idea, and you can kind of gauge what his next move is going to be. And
I can look at all those shoe boxes behind you, and I can tell you've been spraying shoe deodorizer into a plastic bag and inhaling it, and you got to stop doing that, brother. Not so nice when someone lies about you on YouTube, is it?
And the next move is relationship limbo.
No, it's not.
He is going to want you in the same spot. He wants to get whatever he wants to get out of you.
No.
But he doesn't necessarily want to give you anything in return.
Bullshit.
Sure, he might take you out on dates, and if he has money, it might be easier for him to
MGTOW
do so.
don't waste their money and
they're
time
expensive
on
or
that.
not, he will give you all the amenities and the material
No, he won't.
aspects of a relationship in dating, and then he'll give you the sexual aspects in intimacy and in romance.
Not even.
But he does not want any commitment. See,
Full of shit. This guy is full of shit. Full of shit. Oh, baby. Said he's full of shit. Fucking guy is full of shit. Full of shit. Oh, baby. You know this guy is.
See, I know this person because I used to be this person. I know this person because I used to be befriended and I used to be surrounded by this type of people. I know this type of person because I've studied, and I used to be this type of person. So I'm trying to warn you because...
Then clearly you were a PUA, and you should know that, and you should stop telling people that's what MGTOW is, because it's not.
Because as a woman, now that I understand...
Wait, as a what?
As a woman.
As a woman, you what?
As a woman, now that I understand.
As a woman, you understand what?
As a woman, now that I understand generally how a woman is, at least in some regards.
You really need to think before you speak, and you should probably do better research before you do a video. Or better yet, just steer clear of topics you have no idea about, because even though you have a small sub number, you're still spreading shit on the walls, and I don't like it.
Women don't want open relationships. Women want exclusive, monogamous relationships. Women want to grow old together. They want to die together. They want to have kids. They want to settle down. They want stability, not just financially, but emotionally.
But you digress. Seriously. I thought the topic was MGTOW. Who the fuck are you preaching to?
Emotionally. But a MGTOW man will always have a woman feeling emotionally insecure. She will always feel insecure about where she stands with that man. She will always feel unsure about the future between him and her. But this...
Of course she would feel that way, because she's in an imaginary relationship. She's in a relationship with a man who's completely unavailable in every single way. There is no relationship for her to be in, for her to be wondering, oh, how do I rate? You don't rate. He's MGTOW. That's it. It means you're not going out with him. What is it about that is so hard for people to understand? The man is not putting his piece on the board. He's not playing the game. Anybody who's going on that date is not a MGTOW. It's somebody else. A pickup artist. Maybe even an incel.
But this creates an effect to where the woman becomes hyper attached to this man because of
that's because he's off the market.
Has been created. And what I'm trying to explain to you guys
desire
is
for what you can't have.
the mature MGTOW man, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to use his charm. He knows how to use a woman's hypergamous nature sometimes, being material and always wanting to, trade up. He knows how to use all of the woman's propensities to a man against her.
And there it is. I fucking blame people like Mr. Purple Pill, Dinosaur Egg himself, like in theory, for this type of bullshit. What he just fucking said is that purple pill bullshit. The fucking PUA artist using the red pill against women. Not a MGTOW. Like in theory, was never a MGTOW. Bullshit.
And I'm trying to warn you guys, you guys don't know what you're dealing with now. The new man is going to ruin your heart. The new man is going to ruin your body. The new man is going to ruin your spirit. And this is why you have to watch out for this. So generally, I'm making this video to warn you. And the concept.
More bullshit. More fucking bullshit. MGTOW is not the new man. MGTOW is as old as time itself. This guy's on one. I really do think he does fucking huff some fucking sneaker fucking powder for sure. Do some research before you go around fucking labeling people, you douche.
Warn you. And the concepts I haven't really been able to really iron down to make it clear to you. And I'm going to try and do that in the future. But I'm just trying to explain to you that you need to be aware of this type of man, because he's going to seem like everything you need. But if you let him in terms of intimacy and opening your heart, he will ruin you, because men, we're a different breed from y'all. We're not the same like you guys. We are killers. We are trained killers. We are almost in a way born to kill people. We go to war. We have all these jobs that require us to set aside our empathy and our compassion to get the job done. We are highly competitive. We are aggressive. These are not traits that women have. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to divert in topic here, but I'm just trying to make a case that you're dealing with a different animal when you're dealing with men. So you need to be very careful in how you interact with us, because even though we have our own best interests in mind, we can make you feel like, oh, we care about you. We can make you feel good. We can make you think that everything is okay right before the bait and switch. So I'll probably make another video about this in the future. I know the points and the concepts are not really that cohesive right now, but bear with me, because I'm going to be going more into this in the future. So the homework for y'all, if I could think of some at the moment, it would be this: stay off your back, stay out of the bed, keep your legs closed, don't rush things too fast. I mean, as a Christian, I would say wait till marriage, but if you can't.
I'm gonna stop him right here, because I just realized this guy's just fucking projecting the entire fucking time. All in an end game. Like, to me it sounds like he wants to say that he's something tame like MGTOW, but he doesn't want to actually be a MGTOW for any reason. He actually wants to be the PUA he always was. But now he's going to pretend that, no, I used to be that guy, but I'm not that guy anymore. See, I'm going to tell you all about those guys. So you come see me, Mr. Charming Man. Trust me, buddy, it's not your charm that the girls were coming for you in the past. And I'm not allowed to say why. Not allowed to say. But here's the deal. You're full of shit. I see you for what you are. And everybody else sees you for what you are, because let's take a little look at your ratio that's happening here. Alright, here we are at the video. Let me just go ahead and do that. Yeah, okay, so we got 56 subs, but 1,000 views. So this word right here brings this. But we look over here, 56 subs, you can only muster 18 likes, but you get almost double your amount of subs in thumbs down. And 10% is usually the argument, so here we go. 10%, 10%. Yeah, I'd say this is definitely a ratio job. And, what do we got? Meh. Shinobi one. Boom, boom. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of people commenting, so this is the other thing we're trying to get ourselves a lot of clicking going on in the video. That's all that matters, right? At YouTube. Looks like Shinobi's out there fucking holding up the shield wall. There's JD. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, people are coming in and hammering. Because what do you expect? You come out talking shit, people are gonna hammer you. Right? And this is what happens. Oh, there's Baron, yeah. Boom, boom. 4 weeks ago, he's one of the first guys in here to start telling the guy. Simplify sim pseudoscience symptoms. Yeah. Thanks, buddy, 5 days ago for the support. Well, guess what? It's been 5 days since you got a little support from your buddy, but... Oh, what's this? Oh, some more bullshit cult. I don't see anything that says MGTOW here, but we're just gonna throw him in there because he's making a stupid comment. So he's definitely a MGTOW. So we'll just fucking throw this comment. But you notice 3 weeks have gone by. This person hasn't commented back. Yeah, I think me and you are gonna have some discussions coming up soon. I'm letting it go for now because my man JD's talking to you and he's having fun. I don't want to jump in and make that any worse. We'll just let you discuss it together.
Hold off as long as possible. This is the kryptonite to mostly any man out there. The player, the MGTOW man, all these men who are after you.
Don't worry, ladies. MGTOW men are not after you. This guy doesn't have a clue. I wouldn't be listening to him for anything. I don't even trust his judgment on shoe size and stuff. I don't care if he works at a Foot Locker or whatever the fuck.
Who are after you. You will weed most of them out if you don't sleep with them. I'm telling you. So if your homework would be this: do not sleep with anyone.
So the former PUA turned born again Christians response is don't trust anyone and abstinence. Seems legit. Speaking of bait and switch,